Too many wrestlers have taken the Grim Reaper highway at a young age, leading people to wonder what it is that's taken so many out before their time. Here are 30 wrestlers who died before they hit the age of 40. Lance Cade, age 29. One half of the WWE tag team Cade and Murdoch, Lance Cade was given a big push as Chris Jericho's flunky until personal demons led to his WWE release. Cade resumed his team with Murdoch outside the WWE, but his drug problems caught up with him, ending his life with a fatal heart attack in 2010. Chris Candido, aged 33. A talented performer, Chris Candido found his career eclipsed by his sex symbol girlfriend Sunny. Candido seemed to have found a second chance, but he suffered a broken tibia, fibula, and dislocated ankle during a steel cage match. He died just 4 days later from complications following surgery to repair the injuries. Test, age 33. Andrew Martin enjoyed a good push when he debuted at the WWF as the former bodyguard for Rocker's Motley Crue. Test then worked in the upper card, including a storyline romance with Stephanie McMahon. His career peaked during the Invasion angle of 2001, but he continued working until shortly before his death in 2009 from a drug overdose. Crash Holly, age 32. Despite his small stature, wrestler Michael Lockwood made it to the big time, working in the WWF as Hardcore Holly's lightweight cousin, who nevertheless boasted he was a super heavyweight. Holly is best known as the man who introduced the 24/7 rule to the Hardcore Championship, which put the belt on the line, 24/7. Personal problems including a pending divorce reportedly led to Lockwood taking his life in 2003. Yokozuna, aged 34. Samoan superstar Rodney Anoa'i steamrolled his way to the WWF Championship in 1993, defeating Bret Hart at WrestleMania 9. Although he held the WWF Championship and WWF Tag Team Championship twice, weight issues plagued him, leading to the WWF releasing him. In 2000, he died from a pulmonary edema while on tour for an indie promotion in England. Umaga, aged 36. Eddie Fatu worked in the WWE alongside real-life cousin Matt Anoa'i as Eric Bischoff's henchman 3 Minute Warning, but he found greater success when he was repackaged as Umaga, the Samoan Bulldozer. Umaga enjoyed a main event run and appeared at WrestleMania 23's Battle of the Billionaires, representing Vince McMahon. Personal demons saw Fatu refuse to attend drug rehab, leading to his WWE dismissal. He died in 2009 from a drug overdose. Brian Pillman, aged 35. Brian Pillman could wrestle technical bouts, hit high spots and brawl with the best of them, add in tremendous charisma, and Pillman was poised for greatness, especially after he unveiled his kayfabe-breaking loose cannon gimmick. Despite personal demons leading to a near-fatal motor vehicle accident, Pillman continued his wild lifestyle. He signed a big contract with the WWF, working as a member of the Heart Foundation. But an undetected heart condition snatched Pillman's life in October 1997. Davey Boy Smith, aged 39. Whether it was his work as one half of the WWF Tag Team Championship British Bulldogs, or his singles work in the WWF and WCW, Davey Boy Smith was loved by fans all around the world. A freak in-ring accident in 1998 nearly paralysed Smith, and a subsequent addiction to painkillers haunted him. In 2002, Smith was poised for a comeback, but died from a heart attack. Owen Hart, aged 34. Despite being a talented wrestler, Owen Hart seemed trapped in the mid-card until brother Bret lobbied Hart for Owen to get his chance to succeed. A feud with Bret put Owen on the map, eventually leading to a spot in the upper card. A main event run seemed inevitable until a horrific stunt went wrong, taking Owen's life at the 1999 pay-per-view over the edge. Eddie Guerrero, aged 38. Despite tremendous charisma and wrestling ability, Eddie Guerrero faced self-destruction due to substance abuse problems. He fought off personal demons, eventually becoming a beloved figure in the WWE and a main event star. Sadly, Guerrero's second chance ended abruptly when he died from heart failure in 2005. Rick McGraw, aged 30. Quick Draw Rick McGraw was a talented worker who excelled in smaller promotions, then jumped to the WWF where he worked exciting matches as enhancement talent, including one of Randy Macho Man Savage's early WWF matches. He worked a high-profile TV match with Roddy Piper where Piper destroyed him, leading to the referee ending the match. Ironically, he died shortly after the match aired, leading some fans to think Piper's kayfabe beating had done McGraw in. McGraw died in 1985 from heart failure, with some alleging drug abuse as the cause. Chris Von Erich, aged 21. The youngest of the Von Erich brothers, Chris found it next to impossible to wrestle due to his small size and asthma. His frustration with his inability to carry on the Von Erich legacy, coupled with his brothers' deaths, is believed to have led to his suicide. Gino Hernandez, aged 28. Cocky heel Gino Hernandez aggravated fans in Southwest Championship Wrestling, teaming with Tully Blanchard as the dynamic duo. He then found better success in World Class Championship Wrestling, where he and Chris Adams formed a new version of the dynamic duo. His death was considered controversial as it was initially ruled a homicide, but after investigation, police later ruled his death was caused by a drug overdose. Mike Von Erich, aged 23. Mike's career suffered a tragic turn when he contracted toxic shock syndrome, nearly dying from the ailment following shoulder surgery. Mike reportedly suffered brain damage and was never the same in the ring and arguably out of the ring as well. He took his life in 1987 with a combination of sleeping pills and alcohol. Adrian Adonis, aged 33. Tough guy Adrian Adonis held the AWA World Tag Team Championship with Jesse the Body Ventura in the East-West Connection, then changed course, winning the WWF Tag Team Championship with Dick Murdoch as the North-South Connection. Adonis's compass took an even sharper direction when he became adorable Adrian Adonis, an effeminate wrestler who wrestled Rowdy Roddy Piper at Piper's retirement match at WrestleMania 3. Sadly, a deadly car crash took Adonis away in 1988. Buzz Sawyer, aged 32. Bruce Williams was best known for his epic feud with Wildfire Tommy Rich that culminated in the last Battle of Atlanta's steel cage bout. Sawyer had one of the best power slams in the business, but never broke out as a national star, despite short runs in the WWF and WCW. He passed away in 1992 from heart failure. Eddie Gilbert, aged 33. The son of wrestler Tommy Gilbert, Eddie could work equally well as a wrestler, manager or booker. He found fame in Memphis and Bill Watts Mid-South Wrestling. He was married briefly to sex pop Missy Hyatt and later Medusa Marcelli. He is credited by many fans as the first wrestler to give a shoot interview. He died in 1995 from a heart attack. Louis Spicolli, aged 27. Despite an atypical physique for a wrestler, Louis Spicolli worked his way through ECW and then impressing WCW enough to bring him in as Scott Hall's comedic sidekick in the NWO. In February 1998, Spicolli's life was cut short when he choked on his own vomit after mixing alcohol and painkillers. Art Barr, aged 28. Possessing talent and charisma, he wrestled under the name of the title character from Beetlejuice in Pacific Northwest Wrestling until a sexual assault charge saw him sent packing. He then reinvented himself in Mexico as the Love Machine, working in EMLL, then AAA in a much despised heel team with Eddie Guerrero. With several promotions reportedly courting the team, Barr's future looked fantastic, but he was found dead in late 1994. The cause of death remains to be confirmed, with some claiming it was due to drug-related heart failure. The Renegade, aged 33. When Hulk Hogan entered WCW, it was clear the company wanted to recreate many of his memorable WWF programs. Here, WCW teased the Ultimate Warrior was coming to the promotion, only to be someone who looked and acted like the Warrior. That wrestler wasn't Jim Hellwig, but indie star Rick Wilson. Wilson played the Renegade, WCW's poor man's Ultimate Warrior. WCW pushed the Renegade until the real Warrior denounced him as a fraud. He was released in 1998 and took his own life in February 1999, overcome with depression following his WCW release. Bobby Duncombe Jr., aged 34. Second generation star Bobby Duncombe Jr. is best remembered as a member of WCW's faction, the West Texas Rednecks, the group that recorded the song Rap Is Crap. Duncombe died in 2000 from an accidental overdose of prescription painkillers, with some believing his surgery led to a reliance on painkillers. Pitbull number 2, aged 36. The Pitbulls were a highlight of ECW's tag team and singles division, with the Pitbulls winning the ECW World Tag Team Championship and each of them holding the World Television Championship. In 2003, both Durant and his girlfriend were found dead, both reportedly from heart attacks. The Wall, aged 35. Big man Jerry Toot made his debut in WCW as Berlin's bodyguard, then feuded with Bam Bam Bigelow. He worked in the formative years of TNA as Malice, challenging Ken Shamrock unsuccessfully for the NWA TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and also toured All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2003. In December 2003, he was found unconscious in his hotel room and pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. His cause of death was listed as a heart attack, and there was no evidence of any drugs or illicit substances. Johnny Grunge, age 39. The Public Enemy exploded on the wrestling scene in ECW, drawing enough attention to be courted by WCW. Success at the national level proved elusive, but the Public Enemy will always be considered innovators. Grunge died in his sleep in 2006 from sleep apnea. Joey Maggs, age 37. Joey Maggs was no household name, but he appeared regularly in WWF and WCW television as enhancement talent, making established stars look good. He retired from wrestling in 1998 due to a nagging shoulder injury. He reportedly enrolled in flight school, but not much was heard from him until his death in October 2006. Cause unknown. John Kronos, age 38. Kronos was a tag team specialist in ECW, both with Perry Saturn in the Eliminators and later with New Jack. He retired in 2002 and died unexpectedly from heart failure in 2007. David Von Erich, age 25. Considered the best all-round performer of the Von Erich brothers, David was poised for a run with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship until he died in his sleep while working in Japan. Although the official cause of death was listed as enteritis, several sources allege it was actually a drug overdose. Kerry Von Erich, age 33. Kerry would win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship instead of David, but only to have a short run due to NWA officials' lack of faith in his dependability. He had a run in the WWF as Intercontinental Champion, but a pending legal matter where he faced prison time saw him end his life. Trent Acid, age 30. Michael Verdi worked in Combat Zone Wrestling in singles action, then teamed with Johnny Kashmere to form the indie circuit sensation, the Backseat Boys. He remained on the indie scene, including a tour of Juggalo Championship Wrestling, only for a heroin addiction led to legal entanglements. He died from an accidental drug overdose. He was part of the film Card Subject to Change, and the documentary was dedicated to his memory. Jay Youngblood, age 30. Jay Youngblood shot to fame in Jim Crockett Promotions, where he won their version of the NWA World Tag Team Championship, an incredible 5 times with Ricky Steamboat. Youngblood and Steamboat were a big part of the first ever Starrcade, and he seemed to have a bright future ahead of him. Tragically, he died in 1985 from a series of heart attacks. Some have speculated he suffered a ruptured spleen during a match, which triggered the attacks.